The hospital room was a sterile cocoon, its walls painted in soft blues that did little to ease the weight of the moment. Machines hummed quietly, their steady beeps a fragile tether to hope. Noah, a wiry 6-year-old with a mop of chestnut curls, stood trembling at the center of it all, clutching a tiny bundle wrapped in a white blanket. His parents, Sarah and Daniel, stared in stunned silence, their faces streaked with tears. The air was thick with disbelief, heavy with the impossible. Just moments ago, their newborn son had been declared gone, lifeless, still, a heartbreaking loss. But now, cradled in Noah's small arms, the baby stirred, his soft cry slicing through the quiet like a beacon of light. Noah had been counting the days. At 6 years old, he was about to become a big brother, a role he'd been preparing for since the moment his mother, Sarah, had shown him the grainy ultrasound picture. "That's him," she'd said, pointing to the blurry shape on the screen. "Your little brother." Noah's eyes had sparkled, his imagination already spinning tales of the adventures they'd share. He pictured teaching his brother how to build towering forts out of couch cushions, showing him the best hiding spots in their backyard, and whispering secrets about dinosaurs, because, naturally, his brother would love dinosaurs as much as he did. One crisp autumn evening, as golden light filtered through the kitchen window, Noah sat cross-legged on the floor, surrounded by his plastic dinosaur collection. Sarah was folding tiny onesies at the table, her belly round and heavy with the promise of new life. Noah looked up, clutching a bright green triceratops. "Mom, do you think he'll like dinosaurs?" His voice was eager, his brown eyes wide with hope. Sarah smiled, her hands pausing on a soft blue blanket. "I'm sure he'll love everything you show him, Noah. You're going to be the best big brother in the world." A sudden flutter beneath her skin made her gasp softly. "Come here, sweetheart. Feel this." Noah scrambled to her side, pressing his small hands against her belly. He waited, barely breathing, until a firm kick nudged his palm. His face split into a grin. "He's so strong. He's excited to come out, isn't he?" Sarah laughed, but her expression tightened as another kick pressed harder. She brushed it off with a reassuring smile. "He's just saying hello." Daniel burst into the room, adjusting his tie with a hurried frown. "Late again," he muttered, planting a quick kiss on Sarah's forehead. "Just wanted to say goodbye." "Dad, when's my brother coming?" Noah asked, bouncing on his toes. Daniel ruffled Noah's hair, his tired eyes softening. "Soon, champ. Just a few more days. Your mom's almost at the end of her pregnancy." As if on cue, Sarah winced, her hand flying to her stomach. A sharp pain shot through her, but she masked it quickly. "Just a strong kick," she said, her voice steady despite the unease flickering in her chest. Daniel hesitated, worry creasing his brow, but Sarah waved him off. "I'm fine. Go." Noah watched his father leave, a strange knot forming in his stomach. He couldn't explain it, but something felt off. He returned to his dinosaurs, trying to shake the feeling, but it lingered like a shadow. That afternoon, Noah was in his room, staging an epic battle between a T-Rex and a velociraptor, when a loud crash shattered the quiet. "Mom," he called, his heart lurching. No answer. He dropped his toys and raced to the kitchen, where he found Sarah crumpled on the floor, her face pale and slick with sweat. "Mom." Noah's voice cracked as he knelt beside her, his small hands shaking. "What happened?" Sarah's eyelids fluttered. "I feel dizzy," she whispered, her voice faint. "I lost my balance." She swallowed hard, her hand clutching her belly. "Noah, listen to me. Get my phone. Call an ambulance." Fear gripped him, but Noah forced himself to move. He sprinted to the living room, digging through the couch cushions until he found her phone. His fingers fumbled as he dialed 911. "My mom's sick," he blurted when the operator answered. "She's pregnant and she fell. Please come fast." The paramedics arrived in a blur of red lights and urgent voices. As they lifted Sarah onto a stretcher, Noah clung to her hand, his eyes wide with terror. "Mom, you're going to be okay. I promise." In the ambulance, Noah sat pressed against the wall, watching the paramedics work. Sarah's face was ashen, her breath shallow. He wanted to be brave for her, but his hands wouldn't stop shaking. At the hospital, they whisked Sarah away, and Noah was left in the waiting room, his legs swinging nervously over the edge of a plastic chair. When Daniel arrived, breathless and disheveled, Noah ran to him. "Dad, Mom's inside. The doctors are helping her." Doctor. Miriam, a kind-faced woman with gray streaks in her hair, approached them, her expression grave. Mr. Carter, we need to talk. It's urgent. Daniel's stomach twisted. What's wrong? Is Sarah okay? The baby. Doctor. Miriam's voice was steady but heavy. Sarah has suffered a severe placental abruption. The baby is in distress, and Sarah is losing blood rapidly. This is critical. We need to act immediately. But they'll be okay, right? Daniel's voice trembled. There's something you can do to save them both. Doctor. Miriam's eyes softened with sorrow. We're doing everything we can, but time is against us. We may not be able to save both. You need to be prepared to make a choice. Daniel's knees buckled. A choice. How can I choose between my wife and my child? He looked toward the operating room, where Sarah was fighting for her life, then thought of the baby they'd dreamed of for so long. His voice broke. Save Sarah. Hours later, Sarah woke in a hospital bed, her body weak and aching. Daniel sat beside her, his eyes red and swollen. My love, he whispered, his voice barely audible. I had to make a choice. I couldn't lose you. Sarah's breath caught as the truth sank in. Our baby, tears streamed down her face, her hand trembling as she reached for Daniel. He took her hand, his own tears falling silently onto the bed. The door creaked open, and Noah entered, clutching his Aunt Hannah's hand. His face lit up when he saw his mother awake. Mom, you're okay. He rushed to her side, throwing his arms around her. Sarah held him tightly, her fingers threading through his curls, but her heart ached with the weight of what she had to tell him. Noah pulled back, his eyes searching hers. Where's my little brother? I want to see him. Daniel's breath hitched, his grip on Sarah's hand tightening. Noah, he began, his voice faltering. Your little brother, he went to heaven. Noah's face crumpled. No, that can't be. He shook his head, stepping back. I promised to protect him. I told him I'd keep him safe. His voice cracked, tears spilling down his cheeks. He can't be gone. He was supposed to be here. Sarah reached for him, but Noah pulled away, his small chest heaving. He needs me. I have to help him. His sobs echoed through the room, raw and heartbreaking. Hannah knelt beside him, her own tears falling, but Noah pushed her away, his grief too big for his small frame to contain. Doctor. Miriam returned, her face solemn. If you'd like, you can say goodbye. Noah's eyes widened, determination cutting through his tears. I have to see him. Please, I need to say goodbye. Doctor. Miriam hesitated but nodded. She returned with a tiny bundle wrapped in a white blanket. Sarah sobbed as she reached for her son, her body trembling with grief. Noah stood beside her, his heart pounding. Mom, can I hold him? Sarah looked at Daniel, then at Drive. Miriam, who gave a small nod. Gently, Sarah placed the baby in Noah's arms. He cradled his brother carefully, his fingers tracing the baby's cold cheeks. I told you I'd protect you, he whispered, his voice breaking. Tears fell as he rocked the tiny bundle, his small arms offering all the warmth he could. The room was silent, save for the muffled sobs of Sarah and Daniel. Then, impossibly, a soft cry pierced the air. Everyone froze. Noah's eyes widened, his breath catching. Sarah gasped, her hand flying to her mouth. Daniel staggered back, gripping the bed for support. Doctor. Miriam rushed forward, her stethoscope fumbling in her hands. The baby cried again, stronger this time. He's crying, Daniel stammered, his voice thick with disbelief. Doctor. Miriam checked the baby, her hands trembling. This is impossible. He had no vital signs. But now, his heartbeat is steady. He's breathing. She looked at the family, her voice filled with wonder. I've never seen anything like it. He was gone, and now he's here. Sarah sobbed, holding her newborn tightly. Elijah, she whispered, naming him in that moment. My sweet boy. Noah grinned through his tears, still cradling his brother. I told you he just needed me. I told you I'd save him. The hospital buzzed with the news of Elijah's miraculous return. Nurses whispered in the halls, their eyes wide with awe. Doctor. Miriam ran test after test, but there was no scientific explanation, only the undeniable fact that Elijah was alive, his tiny chest rising and falling with steady breaths. In the days that followed, Sarah recovered slowly, her body still weak but her spirit lifted by the miracle of her son. Daniel, ever the pragmatist, struggled to make sense of it, but each time he looked at Elijah's tiny face, he felt a surge of gratitude that defied logic. Noah, however, never doubted. He spent every moment he could by Elijah's side, talking to him about dinosaurs, singing soft lullabies, and promising to be the best big brother. "I kept my promise," he'd say, his voice filled with pride. The family's story spread beyond the hospital, touching the hearts of their small community. Neighbors brought casseroles and blankets, their faces lit with wonder as they shared the tale of Noah's love and Elijah's miracle. For Sarah and Daniel, it was a reminder of the fragility and beauty of life, a testament to the bond that held their family together. As the years passed, Noah and Elijah grew inseparable. Noah kept his vow, teaching his brother how to build forts, sharing his favorite toys, and telling him stories of the day he brought him back. "You were my miracle," Noah would say, ruffling Elijah's hair. And Elijah, with his bright eyes and infectious laugh, would grin, never fully understanding but always feeling the love that had saved him.